The house lights go off and the footlights come on. Even the chattiest stop chattering as they wait in darkness for the curtain to rise. In the orchestra pit, the violin bows are poised. The conductor has raised his baton. Or, in the silence of a midwinter dusk, there is far off in the deeps of it somewhere a sound so faint that for all you can tell it may only be the sound of silence itself. You hold your breath to listen. Or you walk up the steps to the front door. The empty windows at either side of it tell you nothing or almost nothing. For a second, you catch a whiff of some fragrance that reminds you of a place you've never been and a time you have no words for. You are aware of the beating of your heart. The extraordinary thing that is about to happen is matched only by the extraordinary moment just before it happens. Advent is the name of that before moment. That's from Waiting in the Dark by Frederick Buechner. Welcome to the new liturgical year, and welcome to Advent. During Advent, we live poised in the moment between earth as it is and earth as is yet to come. That time between one breath of God and the next breath of God. We talk about Advent as a season of waiting, but watch out, because we don't wait passively. This is not like waiting in line or waiting to arrive someplace, waiting for an event or a party. Whether we wait patiently or impatiently, the focus in that kind of waiting is on what's going to happen, as opposed to the waiting that is happening. It's this passive hanging around until the thing happens kind of waiting. Advent is not like that. In Advent, we are not just waiting for Christmas Day. Advent is about preparing for Christ, the Christ who was, who is, and is yet to come. Advent is not about the light coming into the world as much as Advent is about living in the darkness that surrounds us at every turn and realizing the light of Christ is right there within us in the midst of it all. There's a reason why the color for Advent is a rich, deep blue. This is the color of the sky on a moonless night just before dawn. The earth turns toward the sun. The light from the stars fades. And even as the sky darkens, the first gentle hints of the sun's light appear. It's the time of the promise of a new day, when it's evident the light will return, but we have no idea what the day will bring. We spend our spiritual lives living in that moment of deepest darkness, that moment of secure hope. On this first Sunday of Advent, we wrap ourselves in deepest blue and we light a candle on our Advent wreath. Just one. Right here at the beginning of Advent, we remind ourselves that yes, we stand in darkness, but we do have the light of the world. That is both the comfort and the challenge of Advent, because we cannot see that light fully, only the hope of it, only the tiniest glimpse of it, only the longing for it, only the deep down surety that we were not made for the darkness and the world was not made for the darkness. And even as we stand in the darkness and God knows the darkness is within us, we light our flame and we watch and we wait and we work for the hallowing of the world, for holiness, to finally heal our hearts, to bind up our wounds and free us from the dark. That first candle we light, it signifies hope because in the darkest of nights, it is that first strike of the match, that first flame, the first glow that pierces that total darkness. Hope is that faltering first step we take out of our own despair or our own apathy when we proclaim, I am not made for this. The world is not made for this. When we remember who we are and whose we are. Living in hope isn't easy to do. In fact, if it's easy, then we're doing it wrong. Because we've seen so many Advents in our lives, and sometimes it's hard to cling to that tiny match strike. We long for that day when they will beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks, when nation will not make war against nation, and when they shall study war no more. We read the news, we watch the videos, and we wonder if our hope is really a match for the powers of the world. Sometimes we have to cling to that hope with bloody fingernails and wonder why we even bother. And then we come to Advent. And then we come to church. And we look around. And we see that there are other people here with us, each holding a tiny flicker of light, of hope in trembling hands. And we remember that we are not, in fact, alone in the darkness. Our one small flame, joined with the flame of others, can and has set the world on fire with hope. When our hope falters, we look to those whose steps are sure. And when we know the way, we reach out a hand to those who stumble. This is a community forged out of God's relentless effort to make us witnesses to the truth, that every person we meet was made in God's image and likeness, that what happens to one of us happens to all of us. We don't stand in Advent passively waiting for Jesus to come. Rather, we stand in Advent together, knowing that we leave this place and carry light out into the world. We're the church. And so, yes, we were made for times just like these. The world needs our broken hearts, our anger, our vision, our commitment to justice, and yes, our flickering lights of hope. Welcome to the new liturgical year. Welcome to Advent. Take strength from each other. Take strength from this place. And then go change the world.